let's grab keywords for each sign, which are parts of our whole self, and look at that. And parts of our whole self, as we said, one sun sign is 1/12 of the conscious of reality. So when somebody come at you and say, what's your sun sign? You say, well, what about the rest of me? Don't you care? What I'm saying is that we're all the sign, and we're here to act out each character. Because in reality, energy is larger than characteristics and signs. Energy is larger than personality. Energy is larger than form, than time, than space, and the pace of the human race. Energy transcends. It's on the other side of atomic structure. Where we came from into these bodies and where we're going back, it's beyond. That's why we try to understand with our mind, take our mind to dissect everything to understand it, but you cannot understand this part with the mind. It's a direct experience. It's not even a part. Krishnamurti said it's a pathless path. The pathless path, the pathless path, leads to a place beyond paths. But it's not like the politician said that it's a road that goes in nowhere, because a road that goes in nowhere is somewhere because it's in matter. But we're beyond matter. Always hold that in mind. That conditioning was strong, the hypnotic spell for us to believe that we are the body. It's just a vehicle we're riding in for a short amount of time. If we live to be 200 years, by the way, do you know you can Google the oldest person in modern history? They lived to be 255 years old. It changed my whole paradigm about aging. He was an herbalist. He was from China. He was over 7 feet tall, so he was meant to stand out. He was documented when he visited here. He had 14 wives and hundreds of children. So we've been downloading a lot of stuff, and we've been accepting a lot of stuff, downloading out by computer, how life should be and everything. That a lot of that stuff is erroneous. Back to the spiritual path of the path of what? Negating the false. Negating the false. And how do you get the absolute truth? You have to go within. It'll speak. It'll reveal itself. Aries, activate, initiate, being, exemplify, foresight. Those are some key words for Aries. The Aries part of yourself is the first in series of highs in order. Nothing gets started without the Aries part. You got to have courage. To be a scout, to go ahead to clear the way, to look at what's there before the rest of the people. Foresight. You got to be courageous. Aries represents in us our state of being, what we're being at every second. It's so interesting that Aries, that honesty of being, can clarify a lot of things in our life. You know, sometimes people get into a debate, right? And everybody got their point, the debate gets heated. And then you look and you go, well, what is your state of being? Whatever you're debating about, if you got into all this anger about it, then that means your state of being nullifies the dignity of what you're saying. So, walk the walk. We're here to become the concepts, the spiritual universal principles that are in all religions. What? Love, mercy, forgiveness, long-suffering, selfless service, all these are spiritual that we find in every, okay. What you are exemplifying shows who you are. So shine, star. Become what you want to see. Become the being of what you want to see. I do a lot of relationship counseling, and like God is pretty successful keeping people together. And one of the things that we talk about is becoming the characteristic that you want another person that loves you to be. It's the law of attraction. Whatever you want another person to be, to love you, become that. Radiate that. Whatever a person is lacking, that's irritating you, vexing you, just exemplify it before them. It may take a few moon cycles, but it'll come through. So the Aries, any questions about Aries, part about being, it's energy. And I'm focusing on the positive side today of all the signs. Taurus, sense, experience, response, control, form. So the Taurus part of us, second state of consciousness, as the ancient Mexicans call it, I experience. So when the conscious begin to experience something, they're talking in the Taurus character is something other than the self. And what do we have to experience? Touch, taste, smell, hearing. Those are the senses. That's the Taurus part of ourselves, the sense. And responding. So a response to phenomena. Okay, but also control. You ever go to a farm and you watch a bunch of bulls and cows? You'll see one thing a lot, that they're sitting down, not moving a bit. They're in a meditation. And really the mystery, the spiritual height of a Taurus is the first eye. So the bull begins to meditate. They may be chewing some mushrooms but they begin to meditate and they enter out of the senses into the third eye to see something higher than form. Now, this is the part of your being where you're giving form to things. You start to give form. The second word that a child learns is mind. That's a Taurus word. Mom is a person. But mind, that's a Taurus word. My relationship to a material thing. This is mine. So now you start to work with your hand and give form to things. You're earthing things in the Taurus character. Gemini, calculate, communicate, collaborate, circulate. Gemini. The Gemini part of yourself is very flexible. It's like air, circulating. So this is a part of your being that is mental. So it calculates. The mind is connected with Mercury, the mind. And this is the part of you that studies, that weighs. And each of these calculating, computing, is dealing with the world of duality in this material world. Everything is dual. It has opposites in the material world. And you're dealing with parts of the pie and comparing this part to this part, this part to this part to get some type of insight. Relationships, how I relate, how I communicate, how I receive, how I transmit, the harmony, how I move, how I circulate, how my blood circulates, and how I collaborate, how I'm able to give and take. So this Gemini part of ourselves, intellectual, is male and, let's say twin, male and female, both ways. Yin and yang, both ways. Take, give, receive. Cancer, memory, intuit, reflect, absorb, nurture. The Cancer part of your being is the part that is memory. It goes back, it's connected with not only the mother, what happened in the womb, gestation, because all of these things are the first things that are creating our characteristics in physical form. It goes back to past life memories. It goes into intuitive, being receptive, open like a sponge, and reflecting that. So many times the Cancer part of our being will tune into a person, if we have been meditating, to their subconscious and begin to speak their subconscious to them. What's hidden? What's not so clear? What's so obvious? Any questions so far? The Leo part of our being generates, creates, illuminates, and magnetizes. That's when you want to get up and shine bright and to illuminate. And when you're shining bright, it's kind of magnetic. The Virgo part of our being, analyze, adapt, precise, attentive, efficient, methodical. This is the virgin that has the job of reaping the harvest and the tedious job of separating the bad from the good fruits. It's a practical application, but it's also so needed. So it's connected with this nutrition, but it's also connected with accuracy, being accurate and paying attention to great detail. Libra, charming, gracious, peaceful, graceful, poised. Venus, harmonize, peacemaker. Scorpio. Let me see the hands of Scorpios in here. 2, 3, 5. Discipline, hypnotic, perseverance, resourceful. Is anybody object to that? Scorpio? I don't know. You know, somebody said, who you think you are knowing about Scorpio? I'm a Scorpio. Yeah, well, Sagittarius, optimistic, spontaneous, humorous, and generous. The Sagittarius part of yourself is courageous and is able to, boom, light up a smile and light people up and inspire people and expand beyond just the physical family into the universal family. Capricorn, focus, persevering, confident, organized, scrupulous. Capricorn is also a very disciplined part of our being that is concerned with the mission and the goal and fulfilling that by any means necessary. It's concerned with self-governance, governing, and the ancient Kemetans call it the passionate animal spirit. Passionate animal spirit is that is connected with the physical body that can get out of control, especially if us men, we ruined the planet already with that passion. Okay, so desire is a trap, they say in the East. The two things that cause our suffering the most is desire and fear. Desire, what we're trying to get, and fear, what we're trying to avoid. Those things, we keep recreating them. More of what we don't want. And so, as a male, I begin to see more and more in my life how I create my own suffering with my desire, and my desire is really a projection of some kind of fantasy in my head that I'm putting on someone that doesn't even exist. Ooh, I'm sorry, brothers.
Secrets out.
Out. And we have to, might as well say, we have to tune into the feminine part of our being. I said, what? Yes, because spiritual principles are all feminine. Surrender, non-resistance, selfless service, compassion, okay? But you can express them with some gusto and courage, yeah. Aquarius, innovative, observant, detached, loyal, clever. Innovative is a beautiful thing because sometimes we need to see out of the box and we need to stop trying to create by the formula that was given us or the tools. Boom, let the lights come on and see a new way, a different way, an ancient way, a future way. The Aquarius part of ourselves can do that, and the Aquarius part of ourselves is concerned with all humanity, can be very loyal and detached, which is a part of the meditation we have to learn, is to detach. Each sign has its polar opposite. The opposite of the Aquarius is Leo. The Leo is like, it's all about me, it's the self, it's the personality. The Aquarius is like, no, it's about the group. In the Leo age, a king and a queen rule. But in the Aquarius age, it'll be a circle of all leaders working in unity. Pisces, where the Pisces at? Yay! Empathetic, imaginative, adaptable, compassionate, selfless. The Pisces part of our being is where we're able to detach from form and experience the inner being of not just our own self, but all selves. In Lakesh, the Mayans say, in Lakesh, it means I'm another yourself. They begin to see that everyone is me. That's a hard state to get to when you're only thinking in the personal and it's all, it's me, it's the desire for the self alone. When you get to a point where you transcend that, you begin to see, oh, I understand why this person is acting this way. I used to act that way, but I evolved, and this person will evolve. This person is another me. If we could learn as leaders of the world to think that way, there'll be peace and harmony on earth. Peace and harmony in the world. Okay. So, yes, ma'am.
So we are every sign depending on the time of the day.
No. Each sign dominates a part of the day.
Okay.
So if you look at an astrology wheel on a computer and you see how it's moving, you would see that the fastest moving is the ascendant. Every 2 hours and a half, the ascendants change. That's the physical body, that's the form. The ascendant is the east horizon where the sun rises. When you're born, whatever's on that ascendant, that's your physical body. I'm Capricorn rising, so you're looking at an old goat when you see my body. Old goat. Capricorn risings are usually bony, disciplined, focused. But I'm saying to you that, so the sun changes, the moon changes every 2.5 days. All the planets are rotating. So as they wrote the blueprint, when you were born, boom, that's your characteristics, but the planets are still moving and you'll progress. And so as each thing changes, to be successful, you must change with it. If it's time to be like fire and you being like water, you out of harmony with the universe. You only stuck being water, you only stuck being air. If you're a socialite and you just like to be like air, floating, the pandemic came. Ooh, that was a monster. A lot of people left the planet. But there were some lessons that the creator was trying to get us to learn, is how to sit down, be still, go within, and tune deeper, right? And that was not a social like air time point. And a lot of people were mad. And they were happy when, no, I'm not going to say that. Yeah, I'm going to say this. When, you remember when all the police brutality was happening, the Black Lives Matter, and then people all over the world hit the street? Half of them people hit the street because they was tired of being alone. They wanted to socialize. I'm just calling it like it is. Okay, so what I'm saying, that was a time for us to prepare, to go within, to learn, to feel, to be still, to heal, to prepare for what's coming next in 2022. If you've done the work, then you're going to be ready. You're going to be like an anchor. You're going to be able to not be emotionally perturbed or intellectually disturbed. Okay, so someone in here has some problems going on in their body. You care to share? You care to share with us today?
I was going to say, are they aware?
Are they aware?
I was just about to
That if you are aware.
Oh.
Any problems with the body being a little out of balance? What is it?
Not a bad problem.
Good. All right, so we're going to take care of that right now. What did we say the healing arts were?
You said I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
The healing arts. What is the healing arts?
Singing, dancing,
Okay.
and meditation. Was it meditation?
Yoga.
Changing energy.
There you go. All right, so we're manipulating energy. Pick up the healing arts right here. Willpower, manipulating energy and divine love. All right. The healing arts are just manipulating energy, being loving. I say divine love because it's beyond personal. Being detached person, being divine love, and manipulating the energy with the intention to heal. Captivating creativity that regenerates and activates. Not just creativity, but a creativity that captivates. Why? Because you need attention. Whatever you put your attention on, you get more of. So you want to captivate with this creativity to regenerate and to what? Activate what? Activate the natural healing process to bring alive the immune system, or activate a movement of the blockages. Courageous and compassionate observation and release of blockages. Disease, addiction, grief, pain, shame, anger, and fear. All these things create dis-ease in the body or in the mind. So in this position of intuition, one with energy, manipulating energy, you're unstoppable, unknockable, untoppable. This is for real. This is for real. This is your place of perfect protection, safety, and peace. Yeah, it's not having a 45 in your purse. It's a deeper level. It's a level where it's kung fu in the spirit. You're able to move energy. You're able to even know an adversity before it happens, to resolve it even before it happens. But if the adversity becomes before you, you're able to boom, move the energy quickly. And that's why you become unstoppable and not unstoppable. Inspire. In the healing arts, inspire is to lighten, brighten the inner spirit. Everybody has an inner spirit. Some people need jump starting. You know? Yeah, it get cold out there. The old vehicle needs jump starting, right? And when you're lit in your meditation, illumination, here you're able to jumpstart the inner spirit to inspire. So it's lower back. All right. We're gonna exemplify this healing art today. Now, all of us are healers. And if you don't believe you're a healer, it is the thought that you're holding of not believing you're the healer that's blocking the healing flowing through you. Oh my God. There's a story about Yeshua that a woman came and just touched his garment and the virtue went out and healed her. What? That's just energy. He was like anointed. It was just like the energy of his awareness of his energy God self. Yeah, that's it. And one more thing that's important to say, you love it, is that the other story about Yeshua is so important that reveals some deep insights to us, is that he went into the temple, went up on the temple pulpit, opened the book of Isaiah and began to read, you know, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me and anointed me. So he was saying all this stuff is about me. The people went crazy, like, who do you think you are up here on my pulpit? They just attacked him and outraged, grabbed his butt, dragged him off the pulpit out in the street, dragged him to the edge of the cliff to throw him over the cliff. Because it was the biggest blasphemy in their eye that he would come in our spiritual community and talk about the book is about him. And when they got to the edge to throw him off, all of a sudden he walked through the midst of the people. Do you know what happened? How he did that? He put a love spell on him. He put a love spell on them where they went from being ready to kill, angry, to like feeling blissful and peace. But spells, you're not supposed to put spells. Let me tell you something. The biggest thing that's feared by society is voodoo and witchcraft. Because somewhere people know that's real. But I'm going to say this to you. If you are working with some type of voodoo, witchcraft, sorcery, and you are manipulating people for your selfishness, yeah, that's evil, some dark stuff, and some karma coming back to that. But here's the well-known secret. Everyone is longing for love. When you put a love spell on someone, you're giving them what they're longing for. They already gave you permission. Ooh, road is out the bag. Sacred sorcery, I call it. There are many different names you can call it. The only thing is, you gotta know that you're loving. You gotta be in the vibration of love. Put a love spell on someone. The love spell is giving them what they want. And it's like, as you could say, like, it's like a spiritual Tylenol for a spiritual headache. It's like, it takes away the pain. All right. You need to know that. That's why I said things. All of us in our lives and our personal experience, sometimes you got to put a love spell. But nothing personal. It's not like, okay, I want this person to love me and be romantically involved. Nah, that's personal. It's not a love spell. No, it's a sacred, divine thing where I started experimenting in 2013, riding the subway, turn around feeling the vibe, person hating on me. Probably said, who you think you are? Jesus Christ wearing all that white, whatever. And I'm like, I'm feeling the hate. And the next thing you know, it wants to rise in you, see? And so you got a choice, take your deep breath, choose. I started saying stuff like, may your heart chakra open and the beauty of your spirit match the beauty of your wardrobe. May your light be light. And in front of my vision, their countenance, their body language, everything changed. What did I learn? Another one of my sayings. The person who breathes the deepest controls their environment, not even trying. Another cat out of the bag. Silence does have a mighty voice. Conflict in the house, somebody just sit down in a meditation, begin to breathe deep, watch what happens. Okay, speaking of all these, let's activate. Sister, back a certain there. And we're going to take away that and change things right away. All right, everyone take a deep breath into their heart. Into the heart of love and compassion. Into their intentions of goodwill and healing. Into their willpower of love and sensitivity. All right. Place your right hand over your heart, everyone. Take your left hand and point it at my sister here. Everybody, left hands. Breathe into your intention of her healing. Lower back. Feel your heart expanding in light. With each inhale, drawing more light. With each exhale, send the light out of your hand into her lower back. Visualize her lower back lighting up bright with divine light, with conscious light, with sacred light, with healing light. The muscles relaxing, every cell opening, relaxing. The spine locking into a more synchronized. The ligaments lit with light. Love filling the area of her back. Love releasing blockages in her back. Let it flow from your heart, out your hand. Breathe it. Repeat with me. Let there be healing.
Let there be healing.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Ashe.
Ashe.
Sister, can you stand up?
Actually, it does not hurt right now.
Say it louder.
It does not hurt right now.
Does not hurt right now.
Thank you, everybody. I really felt the love. I really did.
I share. Healing arts. That's who you are. That's why you're here on the planet. A lot of healing needs to take place. And the greatest gift to humanity is the gift that you become. Radiant love and illumination. Knowing your true identity, who you are, and moving energy is so important. Behind everything, behind all form, is this ever-present creator. I'm saying, any questions at this point? Questions at this point. Let's repeat this affirmation together. I'm a child of light and love.
I'm a child of light and love.
I continually evolve in joy and peace.
I continually evolve in joy.
I am an instrument of divine operation.
I am an instrument of divine operation.
It is my delight to shine the light.
It is my delight to shine the light.
I generate healing with my smile.
I generate healing with my smile.
I transmute all negative energy.
I transmute all negative energy.
Every test is success.
Every test is success.
I am the child of the mighty queen.
I am a child of the mighty King.
I am in line with my purpose.
I am aligned with my purpose.
I am in tune with my true identity.
I am in tune with my true identity.
And so it is.
And so it is.
All right.